And the Mets did what the Mets need to do, and they look different. They feel different. The whole thing is good, from Escobar to Marte to Canna to Buck Showalter and everybody in between. They're off to a great start. And Friday is going to be an amazing day. They're going to unveil the Tom Seaver statue for finally. And I'm glad to hear that Nancy Seaver is going to be there to be able to celebrate. I just wish they would have done this 15 years ago so Tom could have enjoyed it as well.
Sure.
But it's going to be a great opening day. I mean, it's just a really good feel around this team right now. And, and yesterday was a proof parcel of it. And, of course, Pete Alonso goes off. And, that's important. I mean, everybody's got a little bit of skin in the game right now, at least early on, starting off here. And they just feel different. It looks different. It feels different. And I'm telling you, opening day on Friday is going to be amazing. I think this is going to be like one of the most anticipated opening days in the last 5 years, if not the most.
Yeah, I mean, it could be with the way that they're playing. Buck Showalter, Max Scherzer, the fact that this team, and now Scherzer's not pitching, it's going to be Chris Bassett. It was great the first time we saw him. But yeah, with the Seaver statue, I mean, you could make that case. You could absolutely make that case. It's going to be a full house. Hopefully it's a beautiful day. I haven't looked at the forecast.
No, it's supposed to be nice.
The fact that you had the lockout, you had to wait a little bit. Yeah, I mean, and you're coming in flying, rolling, winning 5 out of 7 to start the year.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And then last night, of course, we take down the Flyers, who are brutal, by the way, and nothing better than watch a Flyer team be brutal and just completely out of it and have no chance. So Foo Philly, as we used to say back in the day, and we got them twice yesterday, and kind of sets the Rangers back on the right course after losing to the Hurricanes 2 nights ago. But I will say, the Yankees got an issue. The Yankees got a major issue at shortstop. This game should not have been where it got last night, and they should have been able to turn a double play. You have Gleyber Torres bobbling in a ball that should have been easily handled, and it should have been a double play. They should have been out of an inning, but they have no offense at shortstop whatsoever. By the way,
it's not like there were any other options this offseason, were there, to upgrade your shortstop?
I mean,
give me a break. I mean, every shortstop who's been in the All-Star game for the last 10 years seemed to be a free agent this past year. But the Yankees decided to make a trade and get Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and a backup catcher named Ben Rortvedt. So those are the guys that they decided to go with this offseason.
They have a huge hole at shortstop offensively. It reminds me of a much weaker Ray Ordonez, if you remember that.
Ray Ordonez is one of the best defensive players I've ever seen. And this
I know
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who was billed as a great defensive shortstop, looks average to me.
Right now he looks average, and he's got nothing coming out of the bat. I mean, he's got nothing up at bat. I mean, he just looks like he doesn't belong here. You feel it. I feel bad for the kid. He's stepping into some very large shoes, and he's got huge issues when it comes to playing that particular position for the Yankees. Yankee fans have expectations for the person that plays there, and it's I know that Garrett Cole's giving up home runs, and Vlad Guerrero is just tearing through the baseball here at Yankee Stadium, but at the end of the day, they have a major hole at shortstop. That is a huge problem. I mean, it's an automatic out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because they thought to themselves, we're going to have this Judge contract, and we're going to end up paying Aaron Judge, and that's why we can't go out and get a big-name shortstop, and we got Volpe coming up, and we don't want to block him or whatever. I mean, that was the thought process. But, I mean, you went from Gleyber Torres last year, who could not play the position, and you had to get him out of there, to now going with IKF, which is a stopgap that so far looks below average. So, yeah, I mean, it's early. Who knows? Maybe puts together a nice season for him, but it's just so frustrating when you know all of the things that the Yankees could have done. And it's not like the Carlos Correa deal was this humongous deal that was going to tie you up for the next 20 years. I mean, it was one of those things where he obviously put a bunch of opt-outs in there with the Twins. They could have done the same damn thing if they wanted to.
He would have been a mercenary for the Yankees. And, I think that if I could have had that deal with him, I would have signed him in a heartbeat, because it's not a long-term deal. It's something that he comes here, he proves it, and then you can make the decision about him or Aaron Judge, at the end of this year. I mean, I don't know why they didn't do that, and I just think it's a really – I don't even know if you think Carlos Correa gave the Yankees the opportunity to do what he did in Minnesota.
Why not?
I don't know if he did or not. I have
if he's going to go there and play in Minnesota in 30-degree weather in April – Why wouldn't he want to be a member of the Yankees and have an opportunity to join a team that's got a real shot at the playoffs and a World Series appearance? I mean, I don't know why you would not offer the Yankees the same type of deal. I mean, it's not. There's no way he wanted to be in Minnesota.
And the thing about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's 27 years old. He's not 22.
Yeah, we're not talking about it.
He's been around here for a while, so I'm not trying to highlight anything, but I'm just saying what I see is a guy up at bat that really is just overwhelmed. I mean, just doesn't have a chance. I mean, you would like to think, he's going to bat maybe 225, 235, maybe. Is that what you're hoping for? I mean, and you're hoping for flawless defense.
I mean, what you're hoping for is not an automatic out and someone who fields his position spectacularly, and everybody else handles the offense. I mean, that's basically what you're hoping for.
I mean, as bad as that has been, is as good as Rizzo has been at first base.
Right.
So Rizzo has been the nice little bounce back guy, and he looks good. And but I don't know. I just feel like there's something for the Mets. There's something going on there. I kind of feel it. Just watching them and watching the players react to each other, and how Buck Showalter handled everything that went down in Washington. And it's like, okay, you got a real guy in there that knows what buttons to push of the umpires, knows how to get himself involved in whatever the controversy may be around the team when his guys are getting thrown at, maybe not on purpose, but still you got to react to those things. And he's been around long enough to know how to react. And then the team reacts to him. So that's one of the reasons why you would want a guy like Buck Showalter on your sideline. He is a guy that is a baseball lifer, and he knows the unwritten and written rules of baseball. They feel different. The Yankees feel like, what? This is what I was afraid of. And again, I know it's only, we haven't even played 10 games yet. And you'd like to give, maybe 20 to 40 games. Let's see where everybody is. But right now, as I sit here and I look at this, I feel like two teams going in different directions.
Yeah, I mean, and the Yankees, they gave you a little life. They're down 3-0. They come storming back. They tie the game. You got the back-to-back homers, and then they get that third run. And then the sixth inning, the top of the sixth, Garrett Cole comes out, gets the first two outs. Then Chad Green comes in and finishes the inning. But then the seventh inning, here come the Toronto Blue Jays again and just do what they do, which is continue to hit, put pressure on the Yankees. And then Guerrero hits his third home run. They bust the thing open, and then here they are again. And they're just, forget about comparing what the Mets and Yankees are. Let's compare what the Blue Jays and the Yankees are. I mean, and the Blue Jays gave the Yankees fits last year, and right off the bat, here you go again with Vlad Guerrero Jr. just tattooing Garrett Cole. And Garrett Cole coming out in a start that was very, very important for him early on. And it's a 3-0 hole before you blink. So, I mean, he is just, right now, he doesn't feel like the ace that he needs to be. And the way that the Yankees have constructed this rotation, it's like Garrett Cole is your number one ace, unquestioned, no doubt about it. He's your game 1, your game 7 starter, and then we'll piece together the rest of the guys and see if we can figure something out. If you're telling me that Garrett Cole isn't going to be that guy, then what exactly is your starting rotation?
Just let me remind you, you were paying him $36 million a year to be that guy.
Yeah.
Just so you know that. Just, this is the guy that you gave all the money to. This is the guy that, you felt like you needed to have at the top of your rotation, and you went and got him. And they're going to rue the day. They're going to rue it. I'm just, he's a bulldog. There's no question about it. But I think he can't use that spider tack, and it's definitely affecting him.
Well, I mean, he
battled through it. I'm not saying he did what a normal number one pitcher should do: battle through, grind through, get through a certain amount of pitches, and give his team a chance to win, which he did. He did, but it's just getting off to these bad starts, though. I mean that's the thing, and then having their superstar win those battles, not once but twice. That's the thing. And that's what is scary about the Blue Jays. They coming into your building with young, dynamic players that quite frankly, just if you're watching the game, it feels like it's more important to them. It's interesting. So George Springer goes 1 for 5 yesterday. They pretty much have him under control. But when the game is on the line, and I always talk about this with you late in the innings, late in games on the line, guys up, guys got guys on base. Who is going to get the hit? Who's coming up with that big hit? And Springer comes up with another big hit.
Sure.
You know, it's the one hit he has yesterday. He strikes out twice, but he has the big hit. He has the big hit in the big moment.
Yeah, I mean, I know he was hurt for a large portion of last year, but when he has played, he has been a huge asset to that team and sort of like the perfect guy. You know, say what you want about the 2017 Astros, but he's got the experience, he's got the championship pedigree to join that young team and sort of solidify things for them. That was a great signing. It was an absolutely great signing.
It feels
for the
like
Blue
that
Jays.
after this weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, and the second half of last year. Really? I mean, how good he was when he jumped back in and he came back from his injury. So, I mean, that team's just they are a nasty team. And they're going to be forced to be reckoned with the entire year.
They're going to be there the whole entire year. And then it comes down to whether or not, you know, the Yankees can hang with them, stay within striking distance one way or the other, either in front of them or behind them. But, you know, it's obvious that, you know, you could see that, you know, they have the offense to go as far as they can. I mean, I do think they have reasonably good pitching. Not great pitching, but I think it's reasonably good pitching. And they're going to be fine. They're going to be right in the mix. But the Yankees have problems. They have problems in their rotation. They got problems at shortstop from an offensive standpoint, especially. You know.
And what did they fix in the offseason, really?
I mean, really, and I know predominantly the number of Yankee fans that don't like Aaron Hicks, but that's the one thing that I will say. The outfield is fixed in terms of the players that are playing out there. I'm not saying Joey Gallo is great by any stretch of the imagination, but they do have depth out there. And, you know, and he is a good player. I don't care what anybody says. As long as he stays healthy, he'll be in the mix and he'll play good defense for you. Maybe that's the only thing that they fixed because their infield is not fixed. You know, is Josh Donaldson a solid third baseman? Yes. Will we pay 130 games? That would be the question.
Sure. I mean, he's had a history of injury, and he's someone that adds a little bit of edge to the team, which I think is great. But, I mean, he's also someone where his best days are behind him, quite possibly. So, I mean, that's taking a risk there. It's also taking a risk, as you mentioned, with IKF. So I really don't think that this offseason is just miserable for the Yankees. I don't blame them for the Aaron Judge contract, but the fact of the matter is they didn't get it done. So this is the way. If they turn it around, they end up making the playoffs, they go to the ALCS, they go to the World Series, maybe they win a championship, then I'll stand corrected. But I think that this offseason for them was a total dud, and it's going to make it so much harder for them to compete with the best, not only in the American League, but in their division, the teams that are in their division.
Brian Cashman sucks.
He had a bad offseason. But
again, you know, he can only spend what the owner will allow him to spend.
Yeah,
that's why I keep telling you that. I mean, if the owner is Steve Cohen saying, you know, you want to go over $300 million, go over $300 million, then Brian Cashman would have all the funds and all the resources that he would need to make sure that the team was, you know, championship ready. But right now, their shortstop, especially offensively, and defensively, has been. I'd give him a B at the moment, not an A+. If he's going to hit 100, then he has to be A+ in the field. He has to be A+ in the field.
I think he's hitting 50 right now.
Right, exactly.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.